Never Stop Learning, week 236. We're going to take a quick look at the crop tool basics in Adobe Photoshop CC 2015. Alright, so to activate the crop tool, just hit the C key on your keyboard. Notice the cursor changes up a bit, and depending on what version of Photoshop you have, you might see this transformation box around your image. Now, you're going to use this tool if you want to cut away or crop away portions of your image. The way it works is just grab one of these edges, click and drag to redefine your crop area. Alright, I'm going to grab the bottom right, click and drag, and release. Alright, you could also reposition your image just by clicking and dragging on it. And if you want to rotate this, just go to one of the corners, and once you get this curved double-headed arrow, click and drag, and that's going to allow you to rotate your image. I'm going to undo that. Alright, so now that I've defined my crop area, what I'm telling Photoshop is whatever's inside of this area, I'm going to keep. And whatever's outside in this dimmed out area, I'm going to get rid of. Alright, now I'm actually going to throw these pixels away. And that's controlled by this feature over here at the top. Notice this one's already turned on, right? Well, if you turn it off, instead of throwing these pixels in the trash, what you're going to be doing is hiding those pixels. And I like to have that feature turned off in my workflow, just in case I need to get back at those pixels at some point. Alright, so now that I've defined my crop area, let's take a look at this section over here in the top right. Now, the first one of the three is going to be this guy right here. This is going to reset the crop box. When I click on it, it just resets everything. Alright, so I'm going to redefine my crop area, click and drag, go to the top left, click and drag, and release. Alright, the next one over is going to be to cancel the current crop operation. When you click on it, it not only resets things, but you notice we don't see that rule of thirds grid. So if you want that grid back, just hit enter return on your keyboard, and that's going to bring it right back for you. Alright, I'm going to redefine my crop area again. Alright. And the last one of these three is going to be the one to confirm or commit your current crop operation. Alright, if I were to click on this guy, it would keep this area here and just hide these pixels over here that are in the dimmed out area. Another way to work is double clicking on the image directly instead of coming over here to the top. Or the way I do it in my workflow is I just hit enter or return on my keyboard, and that's going to commit that current crop operation for me. Alright, so I'm going to undo that. Now I still have the crop tool activated, but notice I don't see that transformation box. I don't have the handles for my crop tool. To bring those guys back, just hit enter or return, and that's going to bring it back for you. Alright, so let me redefine a crop area again. Top left, click and drag, and release. Alright, now that you know how these guys work, let's take a look over on the left side. Over here, this drop down menu is already set to ratio. You can switch from ratio to resolution, and you have some presets down over here in the menu. Now, if you don't see a preset you want to work with, you could always add your own ratio right in here. Alright, so I'm going to go with 2:4. And notice that's going to give us this portrait look that we have here in the document. Alright, if you want to switch over to landscape, just come right back over here. These double arrows, clicking on it once is going to swap the height and the width for you. Alright, now I have it set up to landscape. Now, when you have a specific ratio going on, notice I'm going to click and drag on this corner, and no matter where I move my cursor around, I'm always going to keep that 4:2 ratio. If I no longer want that 4:2, I can hit clear. I'm going to tab over just to make sure I don't enter in a new value. Then I'm going to grab this corner, the same corner I was grabbing earlier, and notice I'm able to do a free transformation. Alright, the next feature over is straighten. Click on it to activate it. Now the way this guy works is, take a look at this flower petal here. Alright, it's not perfectly straight, right? It's not horizontal. So I'm going to click and drag, and I'm defining a new line. This line should be horizontal. I'm going to release. Alright, so now this petal here is nice and straight. I'm going to undo that. And the last section right over here, this is going to be the options for how your crop tool works. So currently I have this rule of thirds grid, but when I click on it, I have all these different options I could work with. I could also change the overlay, and if I hit escape and click on this gear, you're going to see I have even more options to customize my crop tool. So there you have it, folks. That's a quick look at the crop tool basics in Adobe Photoshop CC 2015.